Oh, hi. I didn't see you sitting there. Hang on a second. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to find the material that you want to use for your practice quilt tie. Notice that all of the material will be folded in half. It should all measure about 44 inches the long way. And what you're going to do is you're going to measure 5 inches this way. And so you're going to take a handy dandy ruler and practice your measuring skills. You're going to measure some 5-inch marks, a couple places down the material.
Try to measure as accurately as you can, because this is going to make a straight line and it's going to make your end product much more beautiful.
And once you have your marks there, you're going to connect those marks so that your line is nice and straight by lining up my dots here. Just
nice line. Then
take our handy dandy cutting board and our handy dandy fairly expensive rotary cutters, and we're going to use this line and a straight edge to make sure that we cut it straight. I know it's
a little bit of crookedness there, that's okay. Straight as possible though.
okay. And we've got one long tube. It should measure 45 by 5 inches long. And then I'm going to lower the foot. Now, I personally think that if you have this edge of your foot right here, right along the edge of the fabric, that's going to be one of your best ways to make sure that your seam is straight. If you have a parent helper that knows more than I do, which is incredibly likely, and they have a different suggestion, let's go with that one.
So I'm going to attempt to do this one-handed. It's much easier if you have two hands. Just make sure that you watch out for the needle. Ooh, right there. Don't be afraid to go slow, to go fast. Then
The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to take out all of the pins and put them into the pin cushion. Well, I don't actually have a pin cushion here, but you make sure you put your pins in the pin cushion so that they don't get lost. Once all of the pins are out, you're going to turn these inside out, or right side out, I guess it would be, which can take some patience, so just be patient with it. If you need to get some kind of a stick to poke it through from the other end, that's fine. It's kind of like rolling a pair of socks. You just kind of have to keep pushing it in one end. And well, what's worked for me is to kind of pull it out the other end here. Once you have it all back so that it's right side out, you're going to take the seam and you're going to place it down in the middle. So it's right here in the middle. And then you're going to very carefully, well, it doesn't have to be carefully, but you're going to very firmly press it down as if you're ironing it so that it's flat, so that it's not tubular. Then open it back up, keeping that halfway mark really visible. And we're going to go ahead and measure 9 inches out on both sides from that halfway mark. I put my 9 inches right here. Make a nice little mark there, and I'm going to make 2 so they can make a nice straight line. And then remember, you're going to connect those lines. I'll do the same thing. Here's my halfway mark. Part of this foot right here, that's where my line's going to go. I'm going to follow that line. Oop, and I got kind of... Next, we're going to fill it up with the polymer. And at the time of this recording, I'm using 2 teaspoons of the polymer. We'll wait for we're not sure if that's going to be enough. So I will give you a change on that if it changes, but so this is a teaspoon. Nope, this is a half a teaspoon. So I need 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, maybe I should have said this, but the sewed part is down here, and I'm filling this part and then pulling them all, and they get trapped at the sewn part right here. Next, I'm going to do another stitch at my 9-inch line. Here that there's very much polymer in there. There's only about that much out of all of this, but it grows 200% of its size. I'm going to find my other line here, and I'm just going to make 1 stitch across there. And it looks like my thread came out of my needle, so I'm going to have to rethread that and try it again. Okay, I've gotten it rethreaded, so now I'm just going to start over again, making that final sew chain. Down, I should raise that. Then I'm just going to go right up to the cutter here and slice it. Now we're on to the final step, where we're going to take these unfinished seams at the end of the tube. We're going to kind of fold them in so that they're even, and then we're going to make our final stitch right as close to the edge as possible. So remember, I always have to attach my upper thread to my lower thread, and to do that I just hold it over on the side, take my hand wheel on the side, pull it up, and you usually see a loop right there. And pull them both back that way. I'm going to take my hemmed piece of fabric. Not sure if you can see this. Slide it under the foot, put my foot down, lift my foot up, make sure my needle's all the way up, pull out my thread, use the cutter. Not that neat. Then you're going to go ahead and do the other side the same way you did this side, and cut all of the extra things off. And inside my 2 9-inch marks is just what seems like a tiny little bit of polymer. We put in 2 teaspoons. Now it will absorb 200% of it. So what I'm doing is I'm going to meet these 2 seams up like this, and then I'm just going to put the polymer parts in here.